Hey, good morning. Yes, this is Spirit Journey, and I'm in my kitchen. I'm preparing my dog's meal, but I was just watching a video on YouTube, and wow, it just had me thinking. Um, as you know, I'm on my spirit journey. I raised in a very traditional, typical New York City life. And reality was everything that we can see, feel, smell, hear, etc. And my earlier video, I did some videos like a month or so ago, and I introduced I shared my ayahuasca experience. I had a total of 3 experiences, and I feel that I still didn't really crack the surface, but it still has me thinking, you know. And so this morning, actually yesterday, I was watching this video. I heard about this place called the Monroe, like Marilyn Monroe, the Monroe Institute. I think that their main headquarters is actually in Virginia. And they explore things like what they call astral projection, about consciousness. This institution delves into the science of consciousness, and they have a website. I think it's called monroeinstitute.com. You can just Google it in. And the founder of this institution, his name was Robert Monroe. And I just watched his video. Like, I was really curious about this man. I see their website, and they offer classes, different types of classes. And so I said to myself yesterday evening, I said, wow, they're if someone had this, if they offer these classes, I'm sure you probably have people who talk about it, just like me in ayahuasca, I experience this, this plant medicine, and then I do a video on it, So I said I wanted to find someone who has done a video on some of the things that the classes they offer. So I think I typed in the name of the institution, Monroe Institute, on YouTube, and I found a video on the founder, Robert Monroe. The video, I think it's like an hour long, and interview that he did was in 1992, and he was an older man at this time. He shared in this interview how he got into this other, this other reality or consciousness, as some people call it, and it was just by fluke. And initially he thought he was going crazy, the typical things, he was experiencing a new reality or consciousness. And, he explored it. He went to the doctors, and they said, no, you're saying there's nothing wrong with you. So he said, okay. And then he started to have these symptoms, like his body was vibrating, And I shared with you guys that when I did the ayahuasca, my body was vibrating, not shaking, but vibrational, It was really weird. And I was told that when your body's doing that, it's your body is going through a different frequency, elevated. That, it said that we're consciousness, and consciousness is energy, and energy has a frequency and a vibrational, So when you're at a higher consciousness, you're at a higher vibrational level. You're going to be vibrating at a higher higher level. So with him, with Robert Monroe, sharing about this vibrational experience seems to confirm to me that that's what was happening to him. And he was shocked one day when, because he said one day, he said, I'm tired of having, these vibrational things, because he thought he was dying. So he said, look, if you're going to kill me, just kill me, like that, something like that. And he just, relaxed and stayed in bed, and a few minutes, it did subside. But what happened was, because he went through with the vibration, and actually he was having an out-of-body experience. He then opened his eyes in his bedroom, and he saw that this thing that looked like a fountain. And it turned out it was his chandelier. He was at the top of his ceiling. He had an OBE, and then he looks down below and sees someone, sleeping beside his wife. He said, what person is sleeping beside my wife? So he came and looked closer. He was able to do that, and he saw it was himself. And when he saw it was himself, he panicked. And he thought he was dying or something, because he sees himself down below, and he's up on the ceiling, his consciousness. And so he asked some close friends of his, I think it was some doctor, and the person said, it sounds like what happens in India is that you're able to, I forget the terminology they use, but he was in a different consciousness, and he was able to project it. He says, yeah, they do that all the time in India. You might want to go to India and master it. You learn more about it. He said, well, how long does it take to learn about it? He said, it could be 10, 20 years. He said, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to wait all those years. So he just, I forget the details in between how, but he had his own business, and he also used to be a pilot, So he has a very active mind, and he's very technically knowledgeable. And when he had this, his own business, and he set aside, he said, in my company I'm going to devise a division of study using, something with frequencies and stuff like that. And he said he felt totally selfish because it was really about him. He wanted to understand more about himself, but he had the business and the money that he could do this. So he explored this, and eventually he has what's called the Monroe Institute, and they offer classes all over the world, and yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, he offers classes all over the world, and I just thought it's amazing. And I'm interested in taking some of these classes for myself. I went on their website, and they have all different types of classes in, out-of-body experiences, astral travel, what do you call this thing? I'm trying to remember the name. Remote viewing, all these different types of things, and they have a prerequisite. I forget the name of the class, but it's a prerequisite that you have to take. It's a 5-day, 6-night course, and you go through. They put these like these monitors on you, and you go in like in a little room. It look cozy, They have a bed that like a floating bed. There's something that I guess it doesn't provide pressure points, whatever. So you really feel like you're just floating on water, and they have these, I think, headphones or something. They use frequencies, and they help you induce, I guess, into a different level, whatever, to go to a different consciousness level, or I guess a super awareness level. And I'm interested in going. I mean, the ayahuasca was an experience, but ultimately, I want to get to a high level of consciousness, of awareness, and I thought it was amazing. But the video that I was watching today on this Mr. Robert Monroe, he said something towards the end that of the video that I thought was very interesting. He said that he was able to talk to I would just call them entities, intelligence, and they had a discussion, he said, and the person asked him, what are your goals? So he said, oh, to help mankind. And then the entity said, yeah, that's a very honorable goal, but, what do you want to do? What other goals? And ultimately, he learned that, he said, well, I want to go to where I come from, my true origins. So he said, really? The entity said, really? And then he said, I can show you where you come from. So he did. He went with this being, and the beings brought him there, and Monroe thought it was very beautiful what he saw. There was like music, and really nice. But then he saw that like he stayed there like a while, like it had this tape. I mean, not a tape, but the music then repeated itself, and he saw that, hey, this thing is like a loop. It's just, I mean, he didn't use that term, but like it was just repeating, and it was boring. Then he said to himself, he said, that's probably why I left my origins, because I'm bored. And then he decided to come here to have a human life, because there's so much variety that you can do. So I thought that was something, because I mean, I've said to myself, oh, I want to know where I come from, my origins, and I just thought it was really profound. So he said in his next goal, he said, his next goal is about to become, how do you call it, he used a terminology, but it means like an intelligent being, and so that he can teach other people stuff, something like that. But I thought, I mean, I would say to look at this video if you can find it. You just put in the Monroe Institute. The guy's name is Robert Monroe, and it's on YouTube, and you'll probably find the video. The video is taken in 1992, but I think the main thing why I'm sharing this is that here we have different attitude, different awareness and different goals, and here that even our goals could be like limiting us. And so my whole desire is to really expand and feel like that I'm growing, and that everything, like even living down here, because he talked about reincarnation, and that here we grow, we do things, and then we die, and then we come back. It seems like this thing called reincarnation You know, it's a point that you have to break out of that loop, and that's also what he talked about in the video. You know, so it seems like life is just a cycle. It just repeats itself, and how do you really break out of the loop? And if you break out of the loop, you know, you don't want to feel like you're just in a, you know, it's just boring. So it was just really interesting, and the whole concept of the reincarnation, I don't know, it was just very, very exciting. It just had me think, you know. And you know what else I think about, what's just coming to my mind? What if even what he experienced, like he got to where he said it was his true homeland, you know, in the spirit realm, and that it was just repeating itself, the music, you know, after it played it and it's played the song again, you know, and it was boring. I'm wondering whether that's still a part of the matrix, you know, and that we can still think that we're out of the matrix because we're in a different plane of existence, but I'm still thinking this still is part of the matrix, perhaps, you know. So, and again, it was an entity that shared him this. How do we know that that entity is not just pacifying him, you know, and tricking him? So these are just questions that I had, and you know, what is consciousness, and even in our elevated, you know, states, is this all like a firewall? You know, that we're going on this spirit journey, then we think we hit enlightenment, but this could be maybe a firewall to prevent us to go past this curtain. And if you go past that curtain of consciousness, maybe that's also another firewall. But it's just food for thought, and again, you know, I guess ultimately it's what you like, what you enjoy. You know, if you're enjoying something, you know, continue with it. But I guess when you're getting bored and itchy like I am, and inquisitive, you want to know what's beyond just your senses. So again, you know, I just want to share this, and yeah, I'm interested in going to this Monroe Institute. It is a lot of money, but if this is what I'm really, you know, if this is a tool to explore this other dimension that I'm really interested in, it's going to be worth it, you know. So you know, I'll keep you abreast on it if I do decide to go. It's in August, and yeah, I'm interested in going. And so you take care, and let me know what you think. Please feel free to share my video, to comment below, and to subscribe. And you know, as I say, you know, and give me the thumbs up. Okay, bye bye.